Hello, thanks for joining us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguela. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will on Thursday, June 22nd, join world leaders in Paris, France, to review and sign a new global financial pact that places vulnerable countries on priority list for support and investment. The summit becomes necessary following devastating impact of climate change, energy crisis, and after effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. The two-day summit, slated for June 22nd and 23rd, will examine opportunities to restore physical space to countries that face difficult short-term financial challenges, especially the most indebted. It will mobilize innovative financing for countries vulnerable to climate change and encourage investment in green infrastructure for the energy transition in emerging and developing economies. President Tinubu will participate alongside other global leaders who are expected to discuss approach for the recovery of economies from the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. On the judiciary, the Presidential Election Petition Court sitting in Abuja has adjourned hearing of the petition filed by the Allied People's Movement (APM) to 21st June 2023. At the adjourned date, the petitioner, which is APM, is expected to open its case. The petitioner is challenging the declaration and return of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the February 25th, 2023 presidential election. The petition is based on the ground of alleged multiple nomination of the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the All Progressives Congress. Counsel to President Tinubu, Wole Olanikpekun, SAN, had earlier pointed the attention of the court to the recent judgment of the Supreme Court on the matter before it with similar facts. The adjournment is to allow the petitioner to access the documents at once to tender in evidence from INEC, which is the first respondent in the matter. The National Working Committee of the New Nigeria People's Party has stepped into the crisis rocking the Imo State chapter of the party. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Major Agbo, in a news conference in Abuja said the purported suspension of the state chairman Charles Durumo and other officers over alleged anti-party activities is nullified with a directive that status quo be maintained till the NWC, that's the National Working Committee, resolves all the pending issues. He noted that all actions taken by the affected officers from both sides are in violation of the party's constitution, as they did not explore the appropriate channels to resolving such issues. The party, he said, is committed to winning the forthcoming governorship elections in Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa states. Hence, the need to put the House in order ahead of the exercise.
2 distinguished senators, 20 honorable House of Representatives members, and numerous State Assembly members, NNPP is set to bolster the nation's constitutional rule as the fastest growing political party in Nigeria as we speak today. The party is strongly determined to make Nigeria a land of justice, freedom, and equal opportunities where all citizens are at liberty to aspire to achieve their lifetime goals and ambitions. A land to live in peace, prosperity, and happiness.
Let's talk health. Today is actually World Sickle Cell Anemia Day, and in commemoration of the day, which is celebrated June 19, yes, annually, provides countries the opportunity to raise awareness and support for people living with the disease. Hadiza Godwin-Ebune sought the opinion of a medical practitioner on how the condition can be managed.
Anemia is an inherited blood disorder that affects millions of people around the world. It is caused by a genetic mutation that affects the production of hemoglobin, a protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen throughout the body. In people with sickle cell anemia, the hemoglobin protein is abnormal, causing the red blood cells to become stiff and sickle-shaped. This abnormal cell can get stuck in small blood vessels, leading to pain, organ damage, and other serious complications.
Recent, people are actually able to edit the gene. People are able to visit the gene even after sickle cell has happened and find a way to re-edit the gene so that what used to be abnormal can now make something that is near normal. At least something that does not make the person to fall sick, even if it is abnormal.
Sickle cell anemia is most common in people of African descent. It is estimated that millions of people around the world are carriers of the sickle gene.
Hemoglobin has like a precedence, in capturing and transporting oxygen, so it sort of subdue the impact of sickle cell until when hemoglobin is wearing off completely from the body, and naturally it's supposed to wear off after that. Then sickle cell becomes a dominant one during the whole, and then it now shows the physical manifestation. So people are able to go and wake up, those dormant genes, so that hemoglobin F, for example, continues to be produced.
Symptoms of sickle cell anemia can vary widely, but some of the most common include severe pain, fatigue, shortness of breath, and infections. People with sickle cell anemia are also at increased risk for stroke, organ damage, and other serious complications. Research into sickle cell anemia is ongoing, with scientists around the world working to better understand the disease and develop new treatments. Hadiza Godwin-Ebune, NTA News.
And to speak further on the World Sickle Cell Anemia Day is Adishatu Patience Odiba. She's the president, Sickle Cell Disorder Survivors Foundation, and she's also a survivor. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on the news.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. How do you feel, or rather, would I say, how have you been able to manage the situation, being a survivor yourself?
It has not been easy, but it's just God. Mine, it was just God. It has never been easy, right from childhood. My parents went through a lot to raise me. I myself have suffered crisis. I've suffered a lot of things as a result of this inherited disorder of the blood. So it has not really been easy, but God saw me through.
And based on what one can only imagine what you have been through, and it's not something anybody wish, to experience. But tell us, do you think there's been enough awareness or support given to sickle cell patients?
Yes, foundations are trying. We are trying. We are intensifying the awareness. But we still want the government to be involved. We still want the well-meaning Nigerians to partner with us to be involved in this awareness, because what you don't know, it's seniors you. Many people, in fact, the painful and surprising thing, some persons that are supposed to be a light to others are caught up in this web. You can imagine nurses, medical doctors, pharmacists have sickle cell as children. So we still need to intensify this awareness. We can join hands together to arrest this menace from the society. The battle to eradicate this disorder, this deadly disorder from the society, is a battle for all. So there is need for more awareness. Both the religion leaders, the lawmakers, the parents, the youth, everybody, because sickle cell disorder, the trauma does not know rich person or poor person. Once you have inherited that blood, you are in for trouble for life, except God come to your rescue. You can imagine out of 100, 95% can survive this disorder. 95, yes.
So
few that are lucky like me. And in
when you say 95%, so 95% have chances of survival?
No.
Okay, so what explains
few
better?
people, like 5% out of 100 have the chances of survival. In my own case, my own is, there are different categories of it, types of it. My own, I happen to be SS plus F. And when I asked the doctor, the time I got to know that I'm an SS, I'm a warrior, I asked the doctor and they said I have the F, join my SS, is fetal hemoglobin. That is an added advantage to my gene. And that makes me not to look like them or go through what I'm going through that is hell. That make my own to be minimal.
Okay, the theme actually for this year is very apt. It talked about, formalizing newborn screening, knowing your status as a sickle cell patient, and also building and strengthening global sickle cell communities, anemia communities. Now, what do you think that say to us as a people, especially when sufferers sometimes are neglected?
Well, strengthening the society on this sickle cell menace, that is exactly what we are doing. We are trying our best, but there is need for more hands to be involved in this. There is need for Ministry of Health, the government through the Ministry of Health to be involved in this. You can imagine people that, when you talk of screening the unborn baby before they can be born, how many people have money to go through that? How many people have the understanding? How many people have the knowledge? I believe through this awareness of compatibility, running your genotype, know your genotype, and ensure that you have a genotype compatibility before you go into any relationship that leads to marriage. That will help. That will rescue the issue of this sickle cell disorder that is claiming millions of lives on a daily basis in our society. When people are aware, when the awareness is when the awareness is on the increase, when the government is involved, just like we, the NGO holders are trying, everybody will know that this is a deadly issue.
Indeed.
They shouldn't try it. Everybody will be at alert. Even the intending couples that out of love, they say, some of them say that they cannot separate. When the awareness is so intensified, they will be scared to go into it.
All right. Adisha to Patience Odiba, we wish you the very best. And you're doing a fantastic job, by the way, being a global ambassador for sickle cell patients out there. Thank you. Keep up the good work. And we hope that this sensitization will continue and be strengthened. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Bless you too. All right. Early childhood intervention for potentially blind conditions have been advocated to prevent childhood blindness. A professor of pediatric ophthalmology, College of Health Sciences, University of Ilorin, Dukbe Ademola Popular, stated this while presenting the 235th inaugural lecture of the University of Ilorin. Let's hear from Aisha Abubakar Yahya.
It reveals that in every second, globally, a child goes blind somewhere, while about 1.5 million children in Nigeria are blind, with some visually impaired. Professor Dupe Ademola Popola of the Department of Ophthalmology, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, College of Health Sciences of the University of Ilorin, in her inaugural lecture with the theme, Illusion to Vision, a symphony of trial and triumph of a child eye health, enumerated her efforts over the years towards contributing her quota to the reduction of childhood blindness in Nigeria. According to the inaugural lecturer, government alone cannot prevent blindness in children, explaining that every individual has a role to play in preventing childhood blindness. Early detection and treatment of childhood eye disease, she emphasized, is very important to prevent or reverse vision loss and eye morbidities.
More often than not, we think about the confusion, deception, misconception about vision communities, and also eye care workers to clear vision of generational magnitude.
Vice Chancellor, University of Ilorin, Professor Wahab Olashukwu Egbewole, lauded efforts of the inaugural lecturer, especially in the aspect of her efforts and passion to help children from preventable blindness. The 235th inaugural lecture was well attended by University of Ilorin community, royal fathers, friends and well-wishers, as well as immediate and extended family of the inaugural lecturer. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
All right, let's join Michael in Lagos. Let's find out what news is trending there. Michael?
Navy has reiterated its commitment to sustain the protection of the nation's territorial waters in order to facilitate not only securing lives on the seas, but also to maintain socio-economic prosperity of the country. Larry Bilei has details.
Protection of Nigeria's maritime domain isn't only to discourage any infraction on the territorial integrity of the country. It is also for enhancement of national prosperity as well. After all, whoever controls the sea in its domain controls the trade. This is evident in the Nigerian Navy's patrol on the sea that has curbed the actions of pirates, smugglers, and rescue missions on the high seas over the years.
Initially, the IMO continued to raise issues about the safety and security on this Gulf of Guinea, but due to the effort of the Navy, especially with the introduction of the Deep Blue Sea that was introduced from the Navy into the system, that has really reduced sea robbery.
In Lagos, the NNS Beecroft, strategic place at the economic nerve center of the nation, shouldering these responsibilities, is having direct impact on the socio-economic life of the nation.
Recently, we've just taken inventory of 2 vessels, although they have not been named, but they're here with us. So that's to tell you that Navy is positioning itself, to enhance the operations.
Commander Kolawole Ogutuga reiterates Nigerian Navy will not relent in devising new ways to combat any unwholesome acts on the sea.
The Nigerian Navy is using state-of-the-art technology. I'm talking about the Maritime Domain Awareness Facility, that's the Falcon Eye, and the Regional Maritime Awareness Capability. This will be sustained, the deployment will be sustained, the 24-hour surveillance of the maritime environment.
For the Nigerian Navy, apart from protection of the nation's waters, its contribution to the nation's economy is key to national prosperity. In Lagos, Larry Bilei, NTA News.
The Lagos State House of Assembly exemplifies the gains inherent in a progressive working relationship with the executive, which obviously has not only boosted the rapid development of the cosmopolitan city, but equally delivers democratic dividends to the residents. In this report, correspondent examines how these remarkable tenets can become reference for other state assemblies. Since return to democratic governance in 1999, the Lagos State House of Assembly has demonstrated to be a partner in progress in successive government's agenda to boost the economic status of metropolitan Lagos.
All in favor, say ayes. Those against nay, the ayes have it.
For politicians like Victor Akande, a former member of the Lagos Assembly representing Ojo Constituency 1, the feat is not an indication of total absence of friction, but built around the ability of the leadership to harmonize the diverse interests of 40 members while keeping sight on the developmental blueprint of the states.
We have one goal, and the goal is for the Lagosians to have dividend of democracy. So we have to work hand in glove. We can't be given the executive problem and you want us to move forward.
The gains are visible as the readiness of the House of Assembly to offer guidance to the executive where necessary has pioneered various infrastructural projects. Experts say that is the beauty of democracy, as competition breeds no achievements.
It is like the left and the right arms of a body. One cannot do without the other. So when there is that cooperation, proper understanding of democracy, it is one government, don't forget.
The Lagos Legislature Executive Experience presents greater lessons for other assemblies across the country, with suggestions amplifying the importance of public interests.
You don't take the other one for granted, and there's a kind of idea of not interfering in each other's jurisdiction. The executive does not want to make the legislature a rubber stamp.
Since a house built on conflict cannot stand the test of time, it is the recommendation of experts that better synergy between both arms of government is the way to go in delivering the dividends of democracy. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages, and the news will be back shortly with Ruth in Abuja. Please stay.
Subsidy can no longer justify its ever increasing cost and the weight of dry resources.
Good to have you there. National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control Director General Professor Mojisola Adeyeye has called on Nigerians to avoid the use of all kinds of herbal products that are not registered by the agency. This followed the arrest of some manufacturers of such products and the mop-up exercise carried out recently by the agency. Let's hear the details from Hamman Jabani.
National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control (NAFDAC) was established to regulate and control the manufacture, importation, exportation, advertisement, distribution, sale and use of food, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, bottled water, detergent, chemicals, referred to as regulated products. It is in the light of this that recently the agency embarked on enforcement exercises that saw to the arrest and sealing off of factory, stores and warehouses such as Sacred Multilink Limited, popularly called Babang Aisha, located in Tofa, Kaduna State, and clamped down on some distributors of some herbal medicines, including Hajia Aisha Special Snuff AK-47.
Please desist from using herbal medicines that are not approved by NAFDAC or are being hawked from one part of the city to another. Be assured that NAFDAC is doing everything to ensure that only safe and efficacious medicines, wholesome food, and quality regulated products are sold and used by Nigerians.
The agency advised consumers of NAFDAC-regulated products to be watchful of drugs, food, and other regulated products they purchase and should not hesitate to report any suspicious activities within their environment to the nearest NAFDAC office. NAFDAC says it will continue to safeguard the health of the nation. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
The Sultan of Sokoto and President General Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar has declared Monday 19th of June as the first day of Dhul Hijjah 1444 AH. The Sultan also declared Wednesday 28th June as the 10th, which is also equivalent to the 10th of Dhul Hijjah as Eid al-Kabir Day. A statement by the Damburam Sokoto Saidu Muhammad Machido for the Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs Sultanate Council Sokoto says this followed the sighting of the new moon of Dhul Hijjah. The Sultan felicitates with the Nigerian Muslim Ummah and urged them to continue to pray for the peace, progress and development of Nigeria. Well, 1 week from now, more than 2 million Muslims performing Hajj in Saudi Arabia will observe major spiritual rites. So far, many, including Nigerian contingents, have performed lesser pilgrimage known as Umrah. Our correspondent, Usman Ali, reports that though authorities in Saudi Arabia are achieving ambitious expansion of the Grand Mosque, there is still the challenge of managing crowd. Let's see that.
Kaaba, the Muslims' holiest place on earth. The pilgrims always strive to pray here. Performing a single task is a great challenge. Every open space is filled up. But one thing is certain, at the Grand Mosque, worshippers have a degree of great tolerance irrespective of differences in colors, races and languages. The Quran says Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail built the mosque on Allah's instruction to serve as the first house of worship for mankind. Nigerians among the pilgrims continue to stream in the holy mosque, praying for themselves and the country to overcome challenges of our development in economy, security, peace and stability.
Allah answer our prayer. And see many countries are gathered here. This place is showing us how the day of restoration is going to be. We all are here from different countries, we don't know ourselves. We mingle together, we do everything together. It's too good.
With the major days of Hajj rites approaching, Saudi authorities caution international journalists to respect the sanctity of the Holy Land. At a visit to Saudi Arabian General Commission for Audiovisual Media, discussions center on the expectations and compliance to lawful guide for the media coverage of the Hajj. Side by side, Nigerian officials and the Saudi authorities commend each other for the mutual respect and understanding. As the countdown to the closure of Saudi Arabia airports for 2023 Hajj begin, remaining Nigerian pilgrims are anxiously waiting to be airlifted to the Holy Land, the assurance which the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria keeps saying will be fulfilled. In the holy city of Mecca, Usman Aliyu, NTA News.
All right, let's turn the attention back home. Biochemists and molecular biologists have taken a stand to champion sustainable research and promote educational development in the field of science and technology for Nigeria's industrial transformation. This was one of the decisions taken recently when they converged on University of Maiduguri, Borno State. Fatima Isa reports.
39th Annual Scientific Conference hosted by the Biochemistry Department of the University of Maiduguri had the theme Biochemistry and Molecular Biology as Potential Tools for Alleviating Economic and Security Challenges in Nigeria. The Vice Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, Professor Aliyu Shugaba, described the theme of this year's conference as apt, considering security and economic challenges in the polity.
The knowledge and experience that will be put on ground, people will take it very, away easily. Borno is now a home of peace, as it used to be.
President, Nigerian Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, Professor Wale Shodipo, underscored the value of the conference to nation building.
That the country is faced with various challenges, security-wise and economic-wise. We will make recommendations to the nation that will help in alleviating some of these problems.
The chairperson, Local Organizing Committee, Professor Yagana Baba, lauded the VC, University of Maiduguri, Professor Aliyu Shugaba, for ensuring successful hosting of the conference holding for the first time in Borno State. Guest speaker Shalom Chinedu projected his thoughts on key elements of education for research and development legacies any nation can give its citizens. The event featured presentation of awards and investiture of new fellows of the society. In Maiduguri, Fatima Isa, NTA News.
The Tinubu administration has been applauded for the political will to eliminate multiple exchange rates in the country. Experts on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria also note that the government should brace up to effectively manage possible downsides to the new FERC's policy. Lydia Sampson will tell us more about it.
The economic and financial experts highlighted macroeconomic stability and investor confidence on critical economic sectors as some of the benefits the nation will derive from having a unified foreign exchange rate.
I think we've seen an immediate reaction in terms of what has happened in the stock exchange. A lot of foreign investors are now coming in because they see down the road that indeed we have now taken the courage to be able to have a unified foreign exchange.
They urged the president and his economic team to come up with proactive policies for seamless implementation of the new policy, continuous engagement, as well as monitoring and evaluation.
We need to make sure that we have a managed floating exchange rate. We can't allow the naira to float just at whatever vagaries of demand and supply. Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to take is to see how best his government can tame the monster in the room, that is corruption, so that the angle of demand for dollar from the corrupt Nigeria.
The president should be able to take another look at the way our MDAs are structured, where you now have directors, oversighting director generals. I don't see why a lot of these synergies or alignments can't be made, so that you have some seamless program that now begins to support the monitoring and evaluation.
They advocate proper management of floating exchange rate so the economy can reap the benefits. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
In continuation of the ongoing rehabilitation of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, the traffic has been diverted from linking the expressway at New Garage, Lagos. A statement from the FRSC indicates that traffic from Isheri, Olowura, passing through River Valley Estate to link the expressway inward Lagos has been diverted to pass through Babcock College, opposite Enyo Filling Station, to link the expressway and drive into Lagos. Alternatively, they could pass through Ojodu, and make U-turn in front of FRSC Ojodu to link the expressway at BRT bus stop. Meanwhile, FRSC Co-Marshal Dauda Alibiu enjoins the motoring public along the said routes to exercise maximum patience and cooperate with the law enforcement agencies, and urge the FRSC commands along the corridor to ensure minimum free flow. All right, let's link up with our Sokoto Network Center.
And welcome to Sokoto on Nationwide. The Nigeria Customs Service Kebbi State Area Command has intercepted illicit drugs and other contraband goods worth over 64 million naira. Correspondent Usman Abdullahi Shehu reports that the seized drugs and one suspect were handed over to the Nigerian Drugs Law Enforcement Agency in the state.
The seizure was made within 4 weeks. The items include 104 parcel of Indian hemp, 359 diazepam tablet of 5 mg, 70 package of tramadol, and 107 foreign parboiled rice of 50 kg each. Others are 38 bales of second-hand clothing, 1,275 liters of petrol, 52 jerry cans of vegetable oil, 1 Honda Accord 2014 model, and 1 used Opel vehicle, among other items. While handing over the intercepted illicit drugs to the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the area controller Dr. Ben Oramalugo emphasized on improved synergy between security agencies to ensure safer Nigeria against illicit drugs and weapon smuggling. The area controller explained that most of the items were seized along Kamba-Kangiwa Road and Kamba-Rijar-Maikarpi Bush paths on the 5th and 11th of June 2023. He reminded the public that security issue is a business of all Nigerians.
Drug is one of the substances that damage our youth. If we continue to allow them, we will not have future.
We are bordering 2 nations, one of which is designated as a drop hub in West Africa. That makes Kebbi State highly vulnerable to drug abuse.
Appealing to the general public to remain vigilant and support security agencies with vital information. In Birnin Kebbi, Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal says his administration is committed to providing a conducive atmosphere for true independence of the state judiciary as a gateway to upholding the rules of law. The governor made the remark while receiving judges of the State High Court and those of Sharia Court of Appeal, who paid him a courtesy visit at the Government House, Gusau. Correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
Upholding the principle of the rule of law is one of the tenets of democracy, which cannot be actualized without the independence of the judiciary. This is the cornerstone of an interaction between the Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal and the judges of the State High Court of Justice and those of the Sharia Court of Appeal. The judges, led by the State Chief Judge Justice Kulu Aliyu and the Grand Qadi Dahir Muhammad Gusau, were at the government house on a courtesy visit to the governor. The visit provides a forum for deliberations, especially on issues related to the independence of the state judiciary and the speedy dispensation of justice. Governor Lawal, who appreciated them for the visit, reiterated his administration's resolve to ensure true independence of the state judiciary, to provide conducive atmosphere for the judges to discharge their duties effectively without fear or favor.
No matter what we want to do in terms of fighting corruption and so on and so forth, if there is no rule of law, it will not work.
The Zamfara State Chief Judge Justice Kulu Aliyu felicitated with the governor on his assumption of duty and assured him of the state judiciary's support and cooperation for him to effectively deliver on his mandate. She also appreciated his resolve to ensure true independence of the state judiciary, stressing that the move will go a long way in addressing the prevailing challenges being faced by the state judicial system.
Your Excellency, with your determination and zeal, I believe the judiciary of the state would be independent. And on our part, Your Excellency, let me assure you, we are ready to work with you.
In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And a quick reminder that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and all other social media handles displayed on your screens for updates. We will take a short break, and when we return, the news will continue with...
Welcome back. Plateau State Police Command has confirmed the killing of 20 persons and destruction of valuable property following attacks by gunmen in some communities in Barkin Ladi, local government area of Plateau State. Saadatu Mohammed Kafa reports.
Communities in Plateau State have witnessed series of attacks. The recent in Kak, Ranyam, Ingi, Lohala and Buka in Barkin Ladi local government. Speaking on the unfortunate incidents, the police public relations officer says more than 70 cattle were also rustled away during the attack. To nip in the bud for the reoccurrence, security personnel, he says, have been deployed to restore peace in affected areas. The police and other security agencies in the state, he notes, are collaborating to rid criminal elements out of the state, as the police successfully secured the rescue of some university students recently kidnapped.
It was because of prompt information that we were able to get those successes. So if they give us useful and timely information, all will be well on the plateau.
He advised students within the university area to be security conscious and report suspicious movement around them. In Jos, Saad Muhammad Kafa, NTA News.
About 75,000 hectares of dry season rice farms have been attacked by koala birds in Argungu, Kebbi State. An estimate of 100 farmers we hear have lost their farms already, while the birds are still raging. Abubakar reports.
Koala birds in their thousands began to attack the farms over the weekend, raging through dry season rice farms estimated to be about 75,000 hectares. The destruction on the major fields of the Argungu Fadama has affected rice production in the area and by extension the country. Many farmers are still counting their losses.
We are in serious problem. Apart from high cost of fuel price and fertilizer, here are the koala birds. One cannot eat his breakfast at home. If not, the birds will eat all his rice field. I spent over 20 years cultivating rice here, but I've never seen a bird's disaster like this. No matter how you push them away, they keep coming back. As you can see, we have to harvest before time to minimize loss. The birds are too much, just too many. They are flying in thousands, and by the time they landed on a rice field, within few seconds they will finish it all.
This is not the first time the birds are attacking, but compared to previous attacks, this is worse. They are calling on the government to come to their aid before they lose the entire farms. In Argungu, Abubakar, NTA News.
All right, let's take one more break. Stay tuned. The National Population Commission has reached an advanced stage to provide the needed data for planning and appraisal of government programs and policies for sustainable development. This was stated at a one-day breakfast meeting with Gombe media executives organized by the Commission. Nafisa Umar Garba reports.
Day breakfast meeting by National Population Commission is to acknowledge media practitioners' support during the planning stage of the exercise, which include enumeration, area demarcation, first and second pretense, among other advocacy and engagements. While focus of the Commission is to ensure all resources extended are safeguarded to reduce cost when the census is to be conducted, it also highlights factors that led to the suspension of the 2023 census, to include transition of power and the rainy season.
The essence of this breakfast meeting is to engage the media as major stakeholders. The census has just been shifted. Probably if the new administration comes in and looks at it, they may take a new date for the census at the convenient time.
We are to make people understand why the census was suspended. Because without this meeting, I wouldn't have even understand or know why the census was suspended.
The Commission says it will continue to count on media practitioners in educating, informing and sensitizing the public on the importance of the National Population and Housing Census. Nafisa Umar Garba, NTA News.
Sports update is next.